I was smiling ear to ear, holding my very first paycheck in my hands. I thought today would be the happiest day of my life, but my mom's words turned it into my worst nightmare. We were sitting at the dinner table, the smell of fresh food filling the room. I was ready to tell them how hard I worked, how many late nights I spent to earn this. But before I could say a word, my mom looked straight at me and said, "From now on, 80% of your salary will go to your brother, and the rest, 20%, will come to me. That's it. No discussion." At first, I laughed nervously, thinking she was joking. But her cold, serious eyes told me she meant every word. My fork froze halfway to my mouth. My brother sat there smirking, not even looking ashamed. My heart sank. All my dreams of buying my own things, saving for my future, they were gone in a second. I tried to speak, but my mom's tone was final. In that moment, I realized my paycheck wasn't mine, it was theirs. I had already planned everything. My first phone, a small gift for my best friend, maybe even a nice dinner for myself. But all those dreams died the moment my mom opened her mouth. The day had started perfectly. I got my first salary message on my phone, and my heart raced with excitement. I kept thinking about how I would finally be independent, how I could spend on the things I loved. I walked into the living room, ready to share the good news with my family. But instead of congratulations, my mom gave me a statement that felt like a punch to my chest. 80% of your salary will go to your brother and the rest to me. Her voice was calm, as if she was talking about the weather. I stood there frozen. My brother didn't even look up from his phone, as if this was normal. I wanted to scream, to ask why, to tell them I worked hard for this. But no one seemed to care about my feelings. My dreams of freedom were replaced with the heavy weight of obligation. The clinking of spoons was the only sound at the table, but inside my head there was a storm. We were having dinner like any other night. My mom served food quietly, my brother ate without saying a word, and I just sat there, pushing rice around my plate. But my mind was screaming with questions. Why should I give away my salary? Why him? Why not save for my own future? I glanced at my mom. She avoided my eyes, acting as if this was just another normal family dinner. My brother chewed slowly, sipping water, completely unbothered. The silence felt heavy, pressing on my chest. I thought about all the late nights I worked, the extra shifts, the times I skipped lunch just to save money. And now it was all going to someone who didn't even care. Every bite felt bitter. I wanted to break the silence, to speak up, to demand an explanation. But I also knew one wrong word could lead to an argument I wasn't ready for. So I stayed quiet, but inside the decision was already made. Something had to change. My voice was shaking, but my heart was louder than ever. I couldn't take it anymore. Days of silence had turned into nights of restless thinking. I walked into the living room where my mom and brother were watching TV. The air felt heavy, almost warning me to keep quiet. But I didn't. Why? I asked, my voice trembling. Why should I give away 80% of my salary? I worked for it. I earned it. My mom's eyes narrowed. She didn't like being questioned. She said it was family duty, that my brother needed support, and I should be grateful for the remaining 20%. I could feel my hands clench. What about my life? My dreams? Don't they matter? My brother shifted uncomfortably, but didn't say a word. The TV kept playing in the background, but it felt like the room was holding its breath. Her answer was short, almost cold. This is not up for debate. But I had already decided this wasn't about family anymore, it was about control. And I wasn't going to let my hard work be taken for granted. Something inside me had finally woken up, and it wasn't going back to sleep. I knew this was the moment. Either I'd take control of my life or let it slip away forever. After that last conversation with my mom, I sat in my room, staring at my bank statement. Months of hard work, long nights, and skipped meals had turned into numbers on a screen. And yet most of it was never mine. I could almost hear my colleagues talking about saving for trips, buying things they loved, while I was left with barely enough to survive. I thought about the years ahead. If I kept quiet now, it would always be the same. I'd be working for someone else's comfort, never my own dreams. That idea burned inside me. I decided I would set boundaries, no matter how uncomfortable it got. The next morning, I calmly told my mom, "I can't give away 80% anymore. I will help when I can, but I have my own future to think about." She didn't reply at first. Her silence felt like a storm about to break, but I stood my ground. For the first time, I felt free, not because I had more money, but because I finally chose myself over